Are live. Welcome to the radio show of blah, 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 and blah, 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 blah. That's my Elon Musk voice. Every time that he talks, I always go blah, 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 blah.
Yeah. Did you hear? Can you hear these?
Yo, pick up the phone. What's up?
What's up? Yeah, eventually I'll have to get like some sort of headphones so that I have the audio coming straight in through there, and then and also a mic. I need, yeah.
Yeah, this is all gear that I had from a production company startup, or backline startup rather. I had a bunch of instruments and some DJ gear, and then COVID hit and the company never launched, and I got without gear.
Man. I had a really good job working at music festivals. I was selling jewelry for a friend of mine, and her booth got shut down because of COVID. And she ended up opening a shop in Vegas, and I worked there for a little bit, but it wasn't the same.
Yeah,
I wanted to be on the road and barely making it to the spots in time, and going through all the bullshit and hassle and.
I suppose my whole life. A lot of it flying too, having to go through the airports to make these schedules was ridiculous.
Yeah,
TSA.
Flying was weird. I did actually a whole bunch of flying during COVID. Like whenever flights were like $17 and stuff like that. I was all over the place. I was like, I went to San Francisco, Colorado, back and forth to Ohio and Florida and Massachusetts.
Cheap.
Were
you going to all the conventions?
What's that?
The libertarian convention. Were you going to all the libertarian conventions and meetings and whatnot?
That was after they all got canceled. Before then, I was driving Adam's bus, and that's how I got around. But my van broke down not long before that. I had been living in my van for a few years, and then I met Adam at the California convention, and I got along really good with him and Joey and his girlfriend at the time, and so they just they were like, hey, he like offered me a wage and everything like that, and said that I could sleep on the bus and they'd feed me and all that. And then whenever it all went down, whenever COVID went down, he didn't have enough money to pay me and stuff like that, but I didn't really care. I was just like, yeah, I mean, because he was driving through Vegas anyway, so he was able to drop me off at my old boss's house, and so I just got off in Vegas and went on different adventures from there.
Have you talked to Adam since then, or more specifically in the last like 6 months?
No.
He has like dropped off the face of the planet. Like there's been no post that I've seen on any social media.
Joey did the same thing. GI Mary Jane.
Yeah.
Like I talked to her recently-ish, and she said that she was, not doing social media anymore. And I was like, oh, that's too bad. You have quite a following. And I know her and Adam were together for a little bit, and then about 6 months ago they split up. So.
And it's been quiet since.
Yeah. Yep.
So how's your campaign going, man?
All right.
Yeah.
I really don't do much for it. I just basically troll the Mises Caucus. and try to attract some other strange groups of people that might decide, they might see oh, the Libertarian Party is that easy to take over. Why don't we set up our own little thing over there and take it?
Maybe the Pirate Party should come take the Libertarian Party.
Well, see, that's what I wonder. Like, what would it take for the Pirate Party to get 2/3 majority and change the name of the Libertarian Party to the Pirate Party.
Oh, that'd be pretty epic.
And just like, 2/3 majority, here's our new platform.
It'd be fitting, I mean, with the libertarian stance on copyright, patents, trademarks, and all that garbage.
Right. Yeah, and you know how many... so, like, the real question would be, like, what would happen to ballot access? Would it all of a sudden be like, oh, well, we are holding, access for a party called the Libertarian Party. They can't just change their name. If that becomes a thing and it, sends the whole thing back to square one, then...
Well, look at what the Forward Party has done in the last, 3 years. Look at all the ballot access they've acquired across the country. They've done in, 3 years what the Libertarian Party did in decades. So I think that even if we were to start back at square one with the right community, the right drive, I don't think it'd take long for us to come back.
Right. Yeah, I mean that. Yeah, and it's all about yeah. So, one way to do it would be to take over the LP, like the Mises Caucus did, and try to salvage that. It comes with a few little perks, but then again, why would they want to even attach themselves to that?
Something else that I've really been considering over the last few months is the name that libertarians are getting these days. We've always had a bad name in the past, and it's always been because of the way the mainstream media captures the comical aspects of the Libertarian Party. So they'll show Gary Johnson goofing off or talk about the naked man or whatever, and the libertarians seem goofy. But with the recent way media has been going, the libertarians been we've been very controversial in the public eye. And I'm wondering how much of a name there is there left to salvage with the party. The libertarian, the ideology isn't in a party. It's in the individual.
Yeah.
And I feel like going after the Libertarian Party after all of this is no different than that party over principle mentality and that you see on the left and the right. And I figure, the way I'm looking at it is I'm just encouraging people to vote third party, to look at other options. It doesn't matter what that party may be, but look at the individual candidates and vote for what you believe in. And if we as libertarians were to take that mentality and apply it elsewhere to the Forward Party or to the Pirate Party or whatever, we can have that same momentum, and I feel like we would get out from under the thumb of that negative reputation that we've been given in the recent months.
Right. It almost looks like we're in the same room now. There we go. So yeah, I know I have a bunch of friends that are doing the Pirate Party thing, and I registered with the FEC as a libertarian, right before I kind of got word, hey, this is what everyone's doing. And then I was like, oh, but I like I said, I don't see any reason to change anything. I mean, they've got their thing going on. I can continue doing my thing,
Yep.
with the Libertarian Party and calling out the Libertarian Party at the same time. It almost makes less sense for me to go over there and then say, I came over here because that's fucked up. It'd almost better just be like, hey, this is fucked up, and I'm not leaving.
Yeah. It, Nick said it. The party belongs to those who show up, and
Yeah.
Mises Caucus, they were the ones that showed up.
Yep.
And all the spin-offs that's come from that, like the classical liberal caucus and everything that's come about to kind of go against the Mises Caucus, I feel like we have the whole culture war going on in our party now.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
we're like I said before, it was like the comical aspects of it that made us, they gave us our reputation before, and now I feel like we're just stuck in a culture war.
Yeah, well, yeah, a bunch of confused people showed up, thinking that they could just take it over and then, change things, like the platform and stuff like that, and then, invite all these people that they think that these whales are going to show up, and they haven't yet, and
I don't see it happening. Not with
I said from the very beginning, I was like, that's dumb, you guys are not gonna pull, from that area. You're not gonna pull from the right during an unpopular left incumbent. Yeah, I mean, it's that simple. What they're doing is the dumbest thing they could possibly do, unless if they're trying to crash the party and make it, that's exactly what the Green Party did, and they made it known that they were not running, what's his name, Jesse Ventura wanted to run as a Green Party, and they encouraged him not to because they didn't want to take votes away from Biden. They wanted to make sure that Trump did not win, so yeah.
Oh my goodness. I don't know. I'm getting
It
really
is kind of funny, the whole Spike thing. It just really confuses me. It confused me from the very beginning.
Spike thing?
Oh man. So, whenever he announced he was running for vice president, that was with Vermin Supreme, and
Yeah.
And I was running for vice president with Vermin and had a head injury, and I wasn't able to, whenever I finally came to, all of a sudden, this Spike dude was kind of moving, and I'm like, oh, who's he? What's he do? And they're like, he says he wants to put a Waffle House on every corner, and I was like, okay, and so and then as soon as Vermin was out of the picture, which he had the support of the Mises Caucus whenever he was running for VP, they were like, this is our man, so I was just like, how is, yeah, so anyway, after he got his fame, he just continues to just do stuff to a great example is the homeless guy that was panhandling, and he had all these people, donating to this guy. He raised $50,000 on this guy's GoFundMe, and most of the people thought that the police tased his dog, and that caused the dog to run down the road, and then the dog was hit by a car. That's not how the dog died. The dog did not die because of the police. But whenever he first was telling the story, he was like, the police killed this man's dog. It's like, oh, really? What happened though was the dog went back to the man's house that he was staying at, and the people there, were not paying attention to the dog, and the dog went out on the road and got hit by a car. The guy also has a history of animal abuse. And and he was panhandling and didn't listen to the police. Whenever I panhandle, and whenever they say you got to go, I walk away. I'm like, okay, sorry, you're the boss. That's just what And instead, he was telling this guy, you should be ashamed of yourself. I'm a veteran too. And I was turned off by the guy from the very beginning, and I guess I maybe got jealous that that Spike raised $50,000 for a homeless guy. Meanwhile, I'm just sitting here also homeless and like, not that I need $50,000 for anything. I would probably spend it on something stupid, like a Cybertruck.
That's not stupid.
I'm on the list for a Cybertruck. I paid the
So am I.
$100. And the first week that they announced it, I signed up for it. So I could one day sell my number in line or something like that, which I think it says that you're not allowed to do.
Huh.
But whatever, I'll just buy it and sell it.
They're doing all their own financing and everything for it as well, aren't they?
I guess so.
whatever.
I have no idea. I
heard that
probably
everything's
won't.
gonna be else.
I probably won't. The only way I'll be able to get it is my father has money, so I'll just be like, "Hey, Dad, you want to buy this truck?" And then he'll probably buy it, and it'll be his.
From what I've heard, and nobody quote me on this, but Elon is planning on doing an automated rideshare with Tesla's AI technology.
Uh-huh.
And they were going to start, once that opens, they were going to start financing all Teslas in-house and doing all the insurance in-house for that purpose. So you could buy one, even if you had bad credit, Tesla is financing it because they know that when you're not using it, they're going to be using it for rideshare. So that will help you pay it off.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I know that. I knew that they had something like that going on. There's also air cabs that are coming out.
Air cabs?
Yeah, like little taxis that fly.
What? Is it like a little drone? It's got like four little props. It comes in and picks
basically.
you up.
And they can go up to like 300 miles or something like that, and you order one, it comes to wherever, and then you pick it up, and it flies itself to the destination.
Huh.
You don't actually fly it. You're just a passenger along for the ride. Cargo.
I'd have to give it a few years.
Actually, it's probably safer now while there's less of them. It's in a few years when there's a whole bunch.
Right.
You might want to wait a few years after that.
There's still like power lines out there and a lot. I don't know. That's
Right. Yeah.
Man, see, I've got to get my system set up here for what I'm going to use. See, I have all these sound effects. I have ones marked in red that I probably shouldn't use on most live streams because they cuss, but I have
Emotional damage.
got a little rim shot. I've got the SpongeBob,
Imagination.
the anime wow. What's up? You've heard that. Let's see. I've got a car crash.
No. Hell no.
No.
So are the buttons on there like little screens?
No, they're just pads.
Okay,
this
okay.
is an MPC X. It is a all-in-one audio production studio. Essentially, what studios over the last 30 years have had, like music production studios, if they've had $2 million worth of gear in their studio, the equivalent of all that gear is in this box digitally. So this is just like a one-off.
And how much is
console.
one of those?
They're about $2,000. Like I said, it was all like leftover from the production company / like backline company that I was going to start. I have a little mixer here that I kept. I kept this. I kept a few guitars and the amp. I sold a lot of gear. I bought all this gear with the intent of using it immediately. I spent like the majority of like fall of 2019 through January of 2020 purchasing most of this gear, and then COVID hit. And now I have all this gear. And then, bills kept coming in and work just disappeared, so I just started selling a bunch of gear, and I figured I'd keep what I might use in the future.
Yeah. Good plan.
Could have been better.
Oh, man. Today's not the best Sunday.
Oh, yeah?
I ran out of
What's
weed.
going on? No! Man, if I could shove some through this line, I would.
Oh, man. Portal technology is so close. It'll change the way we everything. The way we shop. The way we clean.
Man. Star Trek. Transporters.
We won't dump trash. We won't wait for the trash man to come and take it. We'll just send it into the void.
You always hear the stories about people asking, why don't we shoot trash into space or into the sun? Or
Now,
The
into the
void.
sun,
Yeah,
that's
I get it.
not the worst idea.
I don't know. Maybe Elon Musk will be able to make it affordable at some point.
Yeah.
Maybe. He's the guy to do
That's
it.
definitely a thing too. It would not be very affordable to send trash to the sun. But if we had a portal to the sun,
Yep. We just need transporters, man, like Star Trek.
yeah,
Of course, if we got there, we'd probably just reconstruct all the trash into whatever the hell we want. That would be the ultimate recycling.
I have a friend that goes on the Star Trek cruise every year.
That'd be fun.
Yeah. And last year she went and she calls me like after she gets off the cruise, and she has like 12 hours before the plane, and she's like, come and pick me up, and I'm like, what? You should have told me. I wanted to go. And she had an extra ticket too because her friend backed out.
Yeah. Man, that would be fun.
But I think it was like hard to transfer it or something like that.
The gentleman who started Dangerous Thoughts was Icheb Manu. I'm gonna butcher his last name. Itiriam. Yeah, I'm not gonna try. But it was Icheb from Star Trek Voyager. He's the guy who started Dangerous Thoughts, and he's the one. His show's tonight, actually.
What's Dangerous Thoughts?
The show that I do on Mondays now, it's part of a series. On Sundays at 6 p.m. Pacific time, 9 p.m. Eastern time, is Dangerous Thoughts with Manu and Tyson. And on Monday is the follow-up show to that. It's DT Extensions. That's my show. And Tyson is the co-host with me on occasion. And then on Tuesday, Tyson has his show. And on Wednesday, Dave Hildebrand from Washington State has DT Extra Innings, and that starts an hour earlier. But it's 4 nights a week that we do shows, and it's just an open conversation. It's a mixed crowd, politically, religiously, culturally, sexually. I mean, we
Every
talk
time
about
I
everything.
can't even get in on my phone. I tried getting in on my phone and I still couldn't get in.
Really?
Yeah.
Last week I noticed that there was a lot of issues with Twitter Spaces. Elon Musk hosted a space about, I think it was like Thursday or Friday, a week and a half ago now, and he had over 100,000 people join the space, and it crashed Twitter Spaces. And for the following week or so, all of our shows, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, following that event, were all messed up. Like, we'd look at
Ripple
our
effect.
viewers, yeah, and it would say that there. It usually says like, here's everybody that's watching or listening, and you can see who is selecting to request to speak. But it would show like 4 or 5 people, and then it would say 30 other listeners, and you couldn't see them, and they couldn't request to speak, and it was just like this glitch in the matrix, you know?
Yep.
You getting some resin hits from there?
Unraveling.
Unraveling.
Yeah. There's definitely some resin in there, though.
You know, here, I'm gonna grab this. This blows my mind. All right.
You're in Colorado, so.
I'm in Colorado now. Now I just left Florida. I'm from Florida. I'm from the West Coast.
Right. Actually, I saw that you. It said Tampa on your or St. Pete or something.
Yeah. I'm from the Tampa Bay area. I've lived all over that area. I would consider myself from Brooksville, like the Brooksville, Spring Hill area. Okay. That's about an hour north of Tampa. But out there, while I was living in Florida, I had my medical card, and the prices weren't much different than the street prices that you would see. But coming out here, medical is insane. So this is skunk something. I can't read what they wrote on here, and the sticker is gone. But it's like a skunk ape or something. But it's 25 grams. And I don't know if you can see that. Oh.
I just see white.
Yeah, it was $40. $40 for 25 grams.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah. So if you watch stock prices and stuff like that, every year at harvest time, whenever all the marijuana places are flooded, their stocks go down.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. Because all of a sudden everyone has too much, so their price, they take a little bit of a cut. So every well, I didn't do it this year, but last year I made a little bit off of it.
What time frame does that usually happen?
Between like
fall?
October and now, it's usually down a little bit, and then it'll then there's a big sell-off in January. So sometime between now and then, I'd find a time to sell it before January, and then I'd buy in again during that sell-off.
Right on.
There's certain companies that take a loss for tax reasons or whatever, and it ripples all down the thing first quarter of January, or not even first quarter. It's like the first half of the month of January. And that's a good opportunity. Like anyone who's like just learning, if they want to see something happen right away, that's like a good planned time to be like, well, get something between now and then.
Yeah.
Get a little bit and then have like a bigger chunk ready to buy. That way you can see that little bit take a loss, and then you'd be like, okay, I should be buying now, not then.
When do you see crypto starting to tick back up? Because I feel like I feel like it hasn't moved really. I mean, like people will say it's gone down, some people will say it's been choppy, but I feel like it really hasn't moved since like June, July.
We're still 2 years away from the Bitcoin halving, and that will be record prices are every 4 years between 1 and 200 days after the Bitcoin halving. Like if you look at the whole, you can look at other coins as well, and they'll also follow that same thing, and they'll have their own, events and stuff like that. But that Bitcoin halving goes. Every single cryptocurrency will have a really good time at that time. So about September 2024, best thing to do is just keep on collecting as much as you can between now and then. Like just little increments here and there, and every time that it goes down, just jump up and down and be like, yes, I can buy more at a discounted price.
Yeah. I've been following SHIB a lot recently. I like the community that they've built and the utility of that coin.
I made a good chunk off a ship.
It's I don't know,
Doge.
something to do with the community. Yeah, Dogecoin. I feel like Dogecoin doesn't have enough utility, and I don't. The algorithm is, I don't know. It's not what I would look for in a coin. I feel like it's too much of a toy.
There's a bunch of rumors about their. You know how Ethereum changed, and now it's Ethereum 2.0 or whatever. They changed from proof of work to proof of stake.
You think Dodge is going to do some chips?
That's the rumor. They're going to do that and put a cap on it.
Okay. See, that would make sense.
Which would basically kind of
blow up.
Yeah, it would be like that's all it would need to do. And getting in early, that's now. Anything under 10 cents is less than 10 times $1.
Yeah, you're right.
And the moon isn't $1. The moon is like $5.
Yeah, the moon for ship is like a penny.
Yeah.
Yeah. Penny.
Yep.
Even a tenth of a cent, that would be an astronomical jump per ship.
Yeah. Yeah, anytime any of those zeros disappear.
Well, going to even like a tenth of a cent would be 3 zeros disappearing right now. And like I said, that's a huge jump. That's a billionaire making jump right there. Easily.
Yep. I know there's a couple new ones too.
I don't follow it enough. I should.
Well, the whole Luna thing that happened, the Luna LUNC community, which is the leftovers of that, have a lot of high hopes for it, and I mean, it's still being traded on some of the major exchanges, so I don't see any reason not to buy $100 worth and put it in the collection.
Where is the, I don't know, do you get in on a lot of the initial coin offerings? Do you have like a good spot to do that? I know you mine and whatnot.
Well, my mine Litecoin.
Okay.
And then
It's still
once I get so much, like $10 or $20, then I put that Litecoin somewhere else.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm mining Litecoin, but then I'm buying whatever coin I need to top off. Right now I only have about $300 to my name. But with that $300 in the next 18 months, I've got to turn it back into like 40,000 or something.
Yeah. It's possible.
I want to go. I need to not make too much. If I make too much, then I screw myself.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I come from a background of money. My father's very wealthy, and whenever I was 18, I left home to live with Rainbow and stuff like that. And I was on the road for about 8 years, and then had a baby and settled down. Well, sort of. I had a baby, and then still I worked for a band, Dark Star Orchestra, and we had the baby with us on tour, like going to shows and stuff. So that wasn't until she and I split up, and then I met my second wife that I actually settled down in Florida, and then had more kids, and my oldest son come to live with us, and then about 5 years ago she left me, and that's whenever I moved back into my van. We had a house and everything. My dad bought us a house and brand new cars and stuff like that, and yeah, the judge just doesn't side with the men, I guess.
No, there's not, especially in Florida. Oof.
Yeah. Yeah,
There's some
I
states
got
that has a lot, but
I got
most states
screwed
that-
pretty bad. I should have. She should have sold the house and we should have split the money, but that's not what happened.
Yeah.
And instead, I just had no place to put the stuff that I was given, and then that got taken through storage wars, and then I was, just me in a van after that. And then the van broke down. And,
Such is life. My
yeah.
car just did.
Yeah. Yeah, and I started doing the thing with Vermin Supreme. At the same time, I was working the music festivals because it just kind of, it worked together. I could go there and I had his speech memorized and stuff like that, so I could do like his gingivitis thing, and people half the time people would think that I was him. Oh, you're in trouble.
Yeah, I gotta get off here for a little bit.
Nah, you're
But
good.
it was good chatting with you. I'm glad we have all of this set up now and we can do this again.
Yeah,
Hopefully it'll be
I'm
easy.
glad I finally figured it out. Last time I had someone, they weren't they were less patient. So I really appreciate you sticking around and letting me figure this out.
Yeah, and right back at you because I'm trying to figure this out on my end as well. It's a lot to take in. It's all new to me.
Maybe one of these days I'll figure out the Twitter thing.
Yes, I'll work on that with you on here one day where we can see each other because I can use my phone separate from this. So we'll get through that hurdle as
Right
well.
on. Yeah.
All right, man. It's been good talking to you.
All right. And that was Subscription Pirate. Thank you very much for stopping in. Let's see. Move my camera back over here. Oh, yeah. I'm here to rock the microphone. I'm here on my own. I'm doing a solo show for you all. Alright, I'm here, I am the solo show. I am the mic ruler. Super truer. Godzilla filler. Medusa. Conducer? Do. Thank you, microphone. That was my friend the microphone. This is my friend Scully. Hi, Scully. Hi, people. Scully's always got a big smile.
Heard you needed a hero. Here I am. Who's that handsome devil?
Nobody knows Dominaria's shadows like me. Ah, I've always hated crowds. Whatever. Luck favors the foolish, after all.
I won't let Kamigawa fail my... I got someone on the inside who can help. Now, what do we have here? The fun just started.
Yo.
I'm a little bit early. Usually I'm here like 5:30. He might have left and came back. Maybe, I don't know. It's hard to tell him. Oh, my back hurts so bad. I fucking fell asleep Indian style on my couch last night when I got home. I woke up like 3 hours later like that. I almost couldn't stand, dude. Like my arms were totally asleep. My fucking back was hurt. I was like, oh